Sorry, I was chatty patty today.
Oh, no, communication.
Okay, you can call Kitty.
I will call the meeting to order at 5:07. And our first thing we need to do is roll call.
Here.
Committee member Beatty,
Here,
committee member Anderly.
Here.
Committee member Andrews. I think Nicole was gonna join. I'll make sure I know when she joins. Committee member Roshto,
Here.
committee member Stout is absent, and then committee member Abels.
here.
Thank you.
And I need a motion to approve our meeting minutes from June 3rd. And a second.
Second.
We need the motion first.
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
And all those in favor?
I.
Aye. Okay, so somehow Kimberly and Nicole will not have the survey questions in their hands because that didn't get added to the packet. So we can go over the questions that we currently have and then add any questions, or we can get rid of these. I know you guys wanted to make some changes and we have just not done that. So we really need to hash this out and get this done tonight.
Which change?
Whatever changes you guys want. So first question, do you know any youth aged 13 to 18 from the city of Estacada who would be willing to serve on a youth council? Please list their names and phone numbers. Does that sound okay? Something that you want to do when we go out to the community, or should we ask that?
Well, there's probably some confidentiality information issues with, especially with people under the age of 18. Or can we just rephrase it by saying, if you know anyone who'd be really interested in participating, between the ages of some, have them contact the city or go to the city.
You guys could take the actual physical form with you and just hand it out.
Okay,
And then they could bring it into the city or email it back to the city.
That's what I was thinking, is
Can we
that this
copies
would
of
be
that
a
form then?
paper.
do we have someone who's a magic Gen Z person that can just create as a QR code to like,
Yeah, we can create you a QR
That
code.
and this is
You don't need
perfect
to be
too.
Gen Z.
Yeah. I mean, if you knew how to do that, you're a genius.
Okay.
I work with the population between 14 and 24, and I would suggest I don't know if this is something that we can do or if the council has to agree on this, but I would suggest moving that lower age to 16. 13 to 14,
Okay,
The council set the age.
okay.
That's
what they
essentially
asked for.
eighth through 12th
Yeah,
grade.
7th through 12th grade is what they
7th
said.
through 12th. Okay.
Yep,
so 13 to 18 would
Yep.
be,
like, approximately. We can change that to 7th through 12th grade since that's the ages the council set.
okay, 7th to 8 to, what is it? 7th to what?
12th.
12. Great, okay, so we'll ax the ages. Okay. And then, so since they'd be filling this out, it would be confidential.
Okay.
Right, wouldn't be something they'd have to give us, not per se. And then the next question would be if you have a handicap, and I know we're gonna say this differently, if you have a handicap, how can we improve our city to better serve your needs?
Maybe just
A disability?
rewording.
What are your challenges to
If you,
negotiating
if you have special needs or accommodations, something of that nature.
I would, disability, I'm working with the handicapped population right now. And disability is a word that a lot of them have problems with.
What if we just axed a part of it and said, if you have special needs, how can we improve our city to better serve your needs?
I mean, that's broad enough.
That's
I mean,
broad.
maybe that's my,
That's
also my
broad. I might
general
suggest,
lens.
Because accommodations would be enveloped.
are there
in some-
challenges to negotiating the city public ways? I mean, you guys can say anything. I'm just throwing my 2 cents in. Are there, are there any challenges to you negotiating around the city in public places? What challenges do you encounter? How
Yeah,
can you be
that would
supported?
be
in
like more, that would also be like a mobility sort of specific when this is like special needs could be like, I don't have internet, I don't have a car.
Oh,
I
okay.
need different sidewalks or, you know, I need
So that's not, so-
bike lanes, I need, you know, what I mean?
yeah, so internet is not something I would include. If you say special needs.
Yeah, I know, but I think we need to make it broad enough that it's.
Oh, I agree. We
sort
need to
of,
make it broad.
Um, funneling,
I've just had youth object strenuously to terms like disabled.
right,
special
right, no, I
needs.
mean, when I was working with, development delayed adults, like 25 years ago, every 10 years, the language
Yeah,
is modified and becomes more descriptive and inclusive, and that's, I don't even know what, like, I'm not really up on it. You guys up on it?
Special needs to me envelops everything.
Well,
I
and
mean,
and
I-
if you say, do you have any special needs, then it's a little bit more personal and a little bit less. sort of,
yeah, that would be better.
of
Do
a-
you?
Of a box
Yeah.
or something, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, do you have any special needs?
Have special needs.
Could it be
Uh,
do you or someone you care for? Like, cause I'm wondering
Yes.
if there's like someone who can't physically take the survey or
Yep,
have the
Yeah.
capacity, that someone else could take it for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and put like, I don't know, make it clear that we don't need to identify them by name. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I agree with using the term special needs. That's what we use for my daughter that has Down syndrome.
Okay.
When we're saying that we might need some assistance, we say, well, we have a daughter that has special needs.
Yeah,
okay,
that's like what they would say at school, right, Nicole?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm just trying
or
to.
accommodations, they would use that too.
Right.
Hear that too.
Okay, so it would be, so that one in particular, I would axe and I would redo to, do you or someone you care for have special needs? And then how can we improve our city to better serve your needs?
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Mhm.
How can we improve our city? Because it's always good to ask.
Mhm. Okay. Next one, what additional infrastructure projects, not counting sewer, water treatment or water system, do you think are important for our community to thrive? I mean, that's kind of open-ended.
And we had this discussion that infrastructure means different things to different people.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't gonna say anything to muddy the water, but yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Well, might not know what infrastructure means.
Might not know what infrastructure means because for government, infrastructure is things like roads, water, sewer. But I know other people think infrastructure is things like social services, grocery stores, you know, those kind
Yeah.
of things. And that's, you know, so infrastructure means different things to different people. So what are you trying to get the information from here?
Well, and yeah, that's a very good question. Like, is this about like, I would like to see another dock added to the, you know, MacIver, or is this,
What if we said, what additional improvements do you think are important for our
Yes,
community to
that would
thrive?
be- It's still open-ended.
Im-
We'll still need an ice cream
improvements,
store, but
yeah, we could include a lot of things, but we need a word there instead of infrastructure projects. I don't know. Improvements.
I think if we mention in it that the city can build, that the city is responsible for, something like that, to make it clear that it's not, you know, it'd be great if we had a circus come to town once, you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
to make it clear that something the city can do. I think that narrows it down because people will be like, social services, well, the city doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think you're right on. In fact, I think that, what additional improvements do you think are important for our community to thrive is open-ended enough, but also like we're looking for input. It could, and then people could say, city infrastructure or so, I mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
of,
Well, and there's
like you're saying,
always,
governmental infrastructure that's happening
yeah,
right now and it's being accomplished. So this could be piggybacking that, or it could be something completely separate.
yeah, I mean, you're still gonna have the person that says, I think you should bring the circuit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're always gonna have someone like that in the crowd.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we'll add that. And then feel free to add more questions here, you guys. These are just some that I came up with. What businesses and industries would you like to see brought to Estacada? And then didn't you say we shouldn't have that
Nope.
question?
Yeah, I would say don't include that. We just closed on July 4th, the market study, which asked that information. And we got 650 some responses
Oh,
for that,
good.
which is
Yeah.
phenomenal for a city our size.
Yeah.
So I would say we don't need to ask that question.
When are those results going to be made public?
Probably in about a month. So we sent it back to Johnson Economics and then they're compiling and evaluating and they'll create a whole study report for us based on that.
Cool.
Okay.
Bet a grocery store might be very close to the top of the list.
Yeah, there was a lot of people needing a grocery store.
Okay, what suggestions do you have for increasing tourism in Estacada? Was that also on the survey or is that an okay?
I honestly don't know if people want to.
So, okay, we axed that one then.
Like,
Well, I mean, I, like when you're talking about harvest market, like I would say that there is a measurable amount of their business that is based on outside tourism throughout the summer and
a lot
people
of people don't
using
realize
the,
that though.
it's the last stop on the road before,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
A lot, I totally
So
agree,
it's
but a lot of
definitely a
people don't
vital-
realize that.
Yeah, it's definitely a vital part of the economic structure, at least. seasonal.
Harvest Market could do a survey. It would be like, are you, every person that checks out, do you live in Estacada or are you visiting?
Mhm.
Just driving through.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Have
okay,
we-
so,
Have we ever asked the question of, do people want to increase tourism to Estacada, or do we just assume that's what they want?
That's
Maybe-
sort of what we're
Maybe
discussing.
Okay.
maybe that's the question is, do you feel a need to increase tourism?
What do you think would
in
bring
Estacada?
tourism dollars to Estacada, or how do
Or
you?
do you feel like it's needed?
We need
So-
outside money coming in. So how do we ask, how do they want outside money to get here?
The Mount Hood Territories, which is the kind of Clackamas County Tourism Board, recently did a survey and they asked residents their views on tourism. And that was one of the questions is, do you see the value in tourism in your city? And they divided the answers up based on zip code. So we have like Estacada specific answers
Okay.
for that question already. It's not necessarily a huge pool. If you want to ask it again, you can.
Do you know the answer to that?
I can look it up. It was generally favorable from,
Okay.
from
okay.
off the top of my head. I could look it up though. I have
Because I
it.
thought that was why we had the bike thing, going there and all, because when I first came here, we had a lot of tourist things going on here. We had whoever was in that space where the yogurt is, there was a river rafters thing, and we had a lot of tourism come through here. So if we could do that, it's like, come on, guys, bring us money.
I
well,
remember when I first moved here, there was a lot of chatter about how the fires had really kind of died down a lot of the tourism. So
Mhm.
is it a question of maybe it just hasn't returned because people don't realize that all of the roads and things like that are open and they can go back to resuming some of the things that they did out this way?
Maybe so.
Wholeheartedly agree with that statement. I don't think we have promoted enough that Estacada is back open for business and tourism.
Yep.
okay, so do we ask the question? Do we rephrase it or do we just move on? Come on, you guys. Tell me.
She said we could ask the question again.
Or how do we make it more of a sort of yes or no question? And just simplify it a little bit?
Would you like to see more tourism dollars in Estacada?
Do you think Estacada needs to increase tourism activity?
Would you like Estacada to bring in more money by increasing tourism activity?
That's really, really weighted.
I wonder if there's a way to like connect taxpayer dollars to it, and do you see that taxpayer dollars should be spent expanding tourism or bringing back tourism to Estacada?
Or yeah, maybe something to say, do you feel like the city needs
To promote,
to make, make an effort to promote tourism in Estacada?
would you like?
And
Alina's
if
like,
so,
"Don't-
what kind
don't
of
make more work
tourism?
For me.
Yeah.
Okay, so see if
Are you
I
filtering all this,
see if I
Penny?
I don't know, there's a lot to filter.
It's the best
So
time of day to think, you know?
Best time of day to think.
not for me. Okay, do you think the city of Estacada no, I don't need to say that. Do you think the city needs to promote tourism in Estacada? Needs is not the right word though, huh? Do you think the city should promote tourism?
Encourage tourism.
Should encourage.
It
Do
would
you
have a-
think the city should promote tourism in Estacada? Doesn't that kind of envelop everything you guys said?
Yes. Yeah, actually it does.
Do you think the city
With the potential
should
for disappointment.
promote?
Well, yeah, and then you get a read on, I think that's also a larger topic of conversation is, do you encourage growth and development, or do you want to do this whole restrictive, stasis that,
Or should we say, do you think the city should promote more tourism in
There you go.
Estacada?
yeah, I think the
Yes,
simpler the
that's
questions, the
great.
better
Yeah.
also.
Because it's
Do we
not
wanna
like
take-
the city's not promoting tourism,
Yeah.
but do they want more or do they just not want more?
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
kind of what
Yeah,
we're
you're right.
asking here. Okay, and then last question was, how can we better serve you? But, that was kind of a,
Do we, I
We
was
don't
thinking about
really-
maybe a representation question, like, do you feel that your voice is represented, or that your, uh, concerns are heard by the city leadership and staff, or something to that effect? As in back to kind of an initial point that we were trying to touch on, 6 months ago, of just, education and outreach and participating in, committees and commissions. And just kind of weaving that back into the thread of, this is how you can do it, or this is how you can have your voice heard.
Mhm.
And then also touching on representation. But I don't, again, that wording seems a little,
We just want to make it clear that we represent everybody, that we want to hear everyone's voice. We want to hear everyone.
right, but also there needs to be a practical function of how to achieve that, because that's kind of maybe more so where that is headed is, that we're helping present a vehicle for people to have their voices and concerns representation heard.
Mhm. So do you feel your voice is being heard within the city committee commissions?
Perfect.
Is that what
That
you're
sounds
trying to
great.
say?
Or, city, city leadership would
Yeah,
be
leadership,
everybody,
okay.
and I don't want to also sort of, I never want to throw staff under the bus. And be like, here's some more work for you. Serious. So city leadership would probably be people in elected and volunteer positions rather than, staff who are doing administrative work.
Okay, do you feel your voice is being heard within the city leadership? Or should I say in the city leadership? How do you want that
Maybe
stated?
heard by city leadership.
By the city leadership, okay.
I mean, that's also kind of a weighted question. It seems like that's just giving people, you
Wait a
know,
bit.
But they need to vent.
right,
They need
right.
to be
It's
able to
true.
vent.
It's true. I mean,
And if
that's the
they're
whole.
filling
idea
this
with,
out, you know,
Yeah,
either
that's why
online
you're
or on
voting, you're venting.
paper, they can just right away, you know.
Yeah.
So Nicole and Kimberly, do you guys have any other additions question wise, or Denise, that you guys want to add?
I don't have a question to add. I keep in the back of my mind coming back to, because it's just one anecdote that I know of a person who has no internet, no phone. I know there's got to be more than one out there. And I just wonder,
So maybe we should have, that's kind of infrastructure, isn't it?
is that
would be-
infrastructure?
Well, that's enveloped in infrastructure, like the, what do they call it? Our internet, my brain.
Yeah, I know it's that time of day, right?
Just
What, the,
network.
the
or-
internet that we have here, what's it called?
Reliance.
Oh, yeah,
No, it's,
fiber.
yes, thank you.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, that, I mean, that
fiber,
only made it up to my house like a year ago, you know what
but
I mean?
it's here, isn't it?
It's
Right. Well,
here, but
it's-
some people can't
yeah.
afford it. I know people that don't have it. And there are people who generation wise don't have it out of choice. They've never needed it. They don't feel like they need it now. And what I keep coming back to is if there's a fire and we have to evacuate, they need to know before the sheriff is knocking on their door. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So,
If there was an emergency, how would you get that information? Or maybe in 2020, how did you know that we had to evacuate? Because well,
Yeah.
I tell you what, I didn't go until I got the message. I didn't go until I got the message that said, if you don't go now, 911 will not help you. That's when I left. That's when I left.
Right,
actually, we
everyone's
did
got the
not
fire
know
jitters
until
right
they
now.
were
so
driving down
it's
our
just-
driveway.
all the time.
So we were a mile from the fire.
How about what is your primary? What is
Preferred
what's the most direct way you receive
information.
information and news, not as.
Oh, we can make it even more. If you don't have internet or phone, how do you get information?
Well,
Space aliens? and
that
chips in your
seems a
head
little
don't
bit, like. Like if you don't have internet or phone,
count.
do you look under rocks for, you know what I mean? Right. It's also like not making you feel bad if you don't got
If you're
those,
off the grid,
right?
if you're off the grid, how do you get information?
If there would be an evacuation, how would you know to evacuate?
Well, yeah, because can we piggyback this? Well, so the other thing too is like, if we can sort of generalize the questions to piggyback some of the other issues that we're trying to,
Good idea.
like the natural
That
hazard
part.
mitigation plan. In the event of an emergency,
Okay,
what's
let's start over.
your most reliable
Source of information.
source of contact or information or
I would like for everybody to have those alerts that you got from Clackamas County,
mhm.
you know, that said, you know, it's level 2. Go to Sandy. It's level 3. Go to Portland.
I mean, we were up on Marmot today dropping off at summer camp and there was nothing like, and that's like 2
Not
miles.
comforting.
It's just 2 miles off the highway, you know what I mean? It's not far out even.
That's where.
It's just,
Dam Road.
a couple days ago. That got put up today.
It was
Oh,
this
that-
morning. It was this morning.
Don't tell me I gotta go pick up summer camp early.
No, they
He's
got,
not worried about the fire.
they
He's
got
just
the
like,
fire out. They got the
couple of nights
fire
alone.
okay.
You watch big people TV.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
do.
Reel it back in.
How, well, I have so many thoughts on public alerts and how that's my day job. So I would love more feedback on how people do or do not use public alerts.
Okay.
But if they don't have a phone or an internet, how are they responding to this survey?
We put it in their water bill.
Oh, we're putting it in their water bill.
Yes.
What if they don't have a water bill? Like I live on a well, I wouldn't get it.
Right. Well, I
All
think there's gonna
the-
be multiple.
Oops.
Well, I
facets to
imagine if they
this.
don't have phone or internet, there may not be a water bill.
Are you in the city limits though?
No,
Okay,
So no
so
phone, no water
you
bill,
and
no
me
internet.
and Mike don't really
we-
count.
we don't count.
That's sort of living off the
Not-
grid for you.
Our
Not
vote
when it
doesn't
comes
count.
to stuff from our committee because our committee is for the city of city limits. So those are the people that we are making this survey for.
Is Estacada
with
proper
everybody.
or
What?
what's the reach of the water bill in?
The water
Estacada
bill is
proper?
just people who have water accounts, which is mostly within city limits. There are a handful outside city limits that are within the UGB. We, state law legally cannot provide services outside our UGB.
Okay.
But that does not mean that your input, because you're outside city limits, doesn't count. We realize that a lot of the things that we do here in the city have an impact to the larger Estacada region. And it was actually one of the council's goals to reach out to unincorporated areas, that are impacted by city.
Yeah, but I don't know, if I'm just being honest, I don't know how many out in my neighborhood actually even knew about that survey. Cause I mean, unless you go on the city website.
What did
or-
you do during 2020 in the fire? How did they communicate that?
I got those
Sheriff pulled
screaming
the driveway.
alerts, the screaming alerts on my phone.
Right.
But the only way I knew that we were supposed to evacuate was due to the alert. But then also the police coming down my driveway saying, "Where are you staying or going? Because you need to go now."
Right?
So
With your 400.
we didn't
animals?
we didn't have a lot of notice, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't either, until I was actually home and I got it done, but I relied on those alerts. So whichever one of you said those thank you. Those alerts were wonderful. I-
The biggest problem with that is unless it's a level 3 go now, you have
Mhm.
to opt in to receive it.
Yep.
A lot of people don't opt in to receive it. And so then we can't force it through to you, even with you're not opted in until it's a life or death matter.
Do you think that they didn't opt in because they didn't want to or because they didn't know they could?
That's what I would love to ask that question.
So,
Do you know this exists? And are you choosing to not use it or do you not know that it exists?
Everyone should know it exists.
And it's
Okay.
in multiple languages. I mean, but that's the thing is like rural communities are the hardest ones to reach, but they're often the first one impacted by wildfire.
You're absolutely right.
Kimberly, is this question similar to what you were thinking? In the event of an emergency, how are you notified by authorities? Is that what you're wanting to ask?
No, I wouldn't say I would want to know like where are you gonna look? Or
Yeah, what's your most
Where can we,
reliable
like-
source of notification?
yeah, but,
Or-
if it used to be like, a community billboard on the city hall. Where are you
Right.
gonna go to find information? Or where can we put it that it will get it in front of your face or in your ears?
Have we had a large population growth since the 2020 fires?
No. Well,
Well, the
I
problem
mean,
was the
12
census
1,200
was
people
spans that gap.
probably.
Yeah,
it hasn't, I mean,
2020 was the census
it's doubled in
Yeah.
10 years.
and that was
but
5,700.
2020
since
is what I-
2020. I don't know if it's been that significant.
Because I'm seeing posts from people who obviously were not here, who
Right.
obviously did not go through that,
Or think it's real
who
funny.
think it's funny or not taking it seriously. And I hope those people would be willing to sign up, even if they're not taking it seriously now. Sign up. It costs nothing to sign up.
Well, is that also some information that we can help relay?
I would, yeah.
Okay, let's finish this question.
Can I say something really quick, Tammy?
Yeah, go
Just as
ahead.
I'm relatively new here, just been here for 3 years, so we were post-fire moves. And the only reason we really even knew about like the fires and the evacuations was my neighbor across the street was telling me like how nice it was that everybody was outside, and this is really the first time everybody's got to be together since before the fires and stuff like that. So it might just be that people who've moved here or are new to the area don't even know anything
That's what
about
I'm
the issues
saying.
with the fires.
Yeah, because before that happened to me, I saw videos and news of the California fires. And I was wondering, why were people waiting till the very last minute to load their farm animals in the back of their Cadillacs? And I just didn't know how fast that fire moved. I went to work that morning and evacuated that day because I just didn't know how fast that fire moved. So, I mean, if they didn't have those notifications, you know, my house wouldn't have burned down, but I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have been able to get home for sure.
Sorry.
I can't say enough about those notifications. I'm sorry. I checked on those every 5 minutes.
No, I live in the Santiam Canyon and 6 people died because they weren't able to get the notifications. So I understand how
I mean, it
important
happened
it
so
is.
fast.
Yeah.
It happens so fast. People just don't know how fast. I didn't know until it happened to me, how fast those fires move.
Mhm.
When I left, it was 20 miles away from here. I work in Malala. At the time I worked in Malala. And so I'm like, oh, it's 20 miles away. You know, that's a long way, you know, and then my boss calls me at 2:00 and he's like, you need to go home now. You know, so I don't think that people know. I don't think even telling them, no, telling me, I would have been like, you're exaggerating, you know, it's not that bad.
I know, none of us believed it. So Kimberly, tell me if this is better. Sorry, I'm trying to write this out. In the event of an emergency, how do you reliably receive notice or notification?
Yeah.
Is that
Did you
what
say-
you're,
What was the, an event of a what?
in the event of an emergency,
An
or should I say evacuation?
No, because sometimes it's sheltering in place, like with COVID.
Okay, so in the
Oh.
event of an emergency, how do you reliably receive notice or notification?
About.
Yeah,
the-
or how would you like to receive that? Like,
How would you like? Okay.
I
Do
hate
you
to make
know-
your question longer, but could it be like, what have you received in the past and how would you like that to be different?
Yeah, or yeah, what's your preference?
Well, they don't really have a choice, do they? I mean,
Well, I mean, I think what we're doing right now is casting a net and trying to figure out what, you know, are there 12 people that would like the sheriff to come down the driveway because they don't have service, or are there 1,200? You know what I mean?
maybe we can double meaning the question by saying, do you know about Clackamas County alerts? Maybe that will get people to look at them.
Well, I mean, I think also like we can take the questions and then piggyback the sort of associative links to some of the issues, you know, like I mean, I guess the survey that you were talking about, economics, just closed, but there are different faculties working on different projects that all kind of relate to this as a city effort. So
How did the sheriff know who to go,
Early.
whose driveway to go up? How
you
did
know
they
everything. I mean, there was an accident in front of my house and the sheriff was like, "Hey, Mr. Anderly, is your email address Dektronics?" And I was like, and he didn't know that there was no, you know what I mean?
That's
He knew
great.
who I was, what my phone number was, what my email was, because it's Big Brother.
Creepy.
They know. They know.
They also will activate CERT to go door to door and canvas or to see who's out there so they know
Mhm.
where to deploy sheriffs. That's why you had the X's and O's on people's driveways that people got pissed off about
Yeah, that was a big
Um,
mistake.
What happens?
because they felt like it made them
They-
targets
They
for
They
looters.
do your
But that's standard federal protocol.
it's
of how
totally
you
totally
operate.
standard federal protocol. It seems a little primitive, but it's totally standard.
I mean,
Um,
when we search house by house, we put a giant X on your house and there's in that X in
Oh,
every
yeah.
quadrant, something important
we-
goes there, like.
We got our gravel.
Property for sale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay.
and we put the O ourselves. So anyway, it was creepy. Okay, so in the event of an emergency, how would you like to receive notification?
Yeah, yep, that's,
And then, but I think there was more that Kimberly wanted added. I just didn't know how to add it to this.
that's well simplified.
Is that
I
okay?
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That'll at least give us a starting point.
Uh-huh.
Okay, any other questions? Nicole, anyone have any more questions that you want to add to this survey before we move on to our next item, which will be Denise?
No, I don't have any more questions.
Okay, so, all right, I'll type this out and give it to Elena and she can do something with it. So we'll have that. And then Denise, do you want to talk to us about the drug abuse prevention can?
I was hoping Shannon Stout would be here. She is not. I am not prepared to talk about it because I've had a complication come up and I'm not trying to be mysterious, but I can't talk about it right now. We are working on stuff, but I have things going on with my workplace that I have to settle
Okay,
before I can get to this.
okay, that's all right. We can skip
So,
over it till
Please,
next
yeah,
month.
I'm sorry, but I can't. I've been trying to get in touch with people and they're not answering my emails or phone calls, so I'm looking for their addresses now. So,
Okay, that's all right. We'll do this in
I'm sorry.
August.
I can't right now. I'm not prepared to talk about it right now.
That's all right. Elena, you want to talk to us about Better Together? You were gonna share.
I think that you were supposed to talk to council, right? Did Heidi, were you gonna have Heidi talk to the council?
Is Heidi here tonight?
Heidi is not here tonight. No.
Okay,
Because that's an official.
Yeah, it would have to go through
Council
council. I mean,
approval.
you guys can call yourselves Better Together and make that your tag name, your tagline, but if you want the code changed, it's gonna have to go through council.
but that's what you were gonna talk about. I
The count, and
think.
they're not really interested in
Right.
revising the code. If you want to take it to them, you can come your next, I think it's next month with your quarterly reports, and you could take it to them and ask them then.
Okay,
Or you can come
Um,
to any council meeting. There's the 3-minute public comment. If you want to take it to them, then you can do it then too.
Can you give us a quick little strategy? Like, what's the process? How difficult do you think it's going to be? Is there any traction that you can foresee, or is this something that we should just sort of nickname ourselves?
that's what,
for the
Yeah,
sake of-
I would just nickname yourselves.
Okay.
That's what-
Because yeah, changing the code requires a lot more work.
And there's also a bunch of other code changes that the community's requesting that the city is already
oh.
burdened with, so
Oh,
to speak.
Okay. Well, the reason I had it on the agenda is because I wanted you all to know that Heidi had told me that it was not getting traction.
Okay.
And essentially Elena was also saying, no, this probably isn't something we're gonna want to pursue. So that's the only reason I was gonna have Elena say anything about it, but basically just wanted you guys to know that, because I know months ago we voted to
Right.
change our name. So I just wanted you to know.
Can we essentially assume that we're doing business as, like, you know,
yeah.
our DBA is
Yep.
better together, our sort of catchphrase
Yeah,
Yeah.
is better together, and it's more of I mean, I'm sorry if this cheapens the whole effort, but like a marketing strategy.
mhm,
Because of all the issues that we identified initially with that.
mhm. Yep,
Is this from the planning committee?
That right there is the action items from the natural hazard mitigation plan.
I have all your.
mhm. So, okay, so I think, aren't you, okay, remind me, Elena. For D, where we are now, community events,
Yep.
we're basically talking about like, going to the various places on our list,
You
right?
guys want a table for the Arts at the Creek at the end of the month?
Oh,
What does that mean, table?
Just hang out behind the table and be like, what? You know what I mean?
Oh.
here's our
Will there be
survey.
Bloody Mary?
Yeah,
That's
or-
what you guys had talked about when
Yep.
you did your goal planning,
we
is going
could,
to these community events with your surveys and other
Um,
information.
we
Okay,
could-
thank you.
You know, we could do that at the music events that the park's doing. Those are on Sunday, and they're not every Sunday. Is it every Sunday?
It's not every Sunday
Okay.
for the concerts in the park.
Correct.
No, it's select Sundays. You have
Okay.
to look at the website calendar.
And then like I said, the Arts at the Creek thing is the 27th, and we wouldn't obviously charge you guys. as like vendors or anything like that. You can just show up and rock out.
Will you be playing? Will you be playing?
Are you gonna be playing?
Maybe I'm engineering sound and then maybe I'll play with Ray when she's doing the last set of the afternoon. But that's not anything exciting. I could probably also like post up for an hour and sit behind the table. And sort of wear both hats.
Oktoberfest, that's awesome.
Yeah, Oktoberfest. Do these all fly on a Saturday? Probably. Everything
The,
is on a
um,
Saturday.
The
Always.
tree lighting is
Concerts.
usually on a Friday and the concerts are on Sundays.
Oh. July 27 is
Might
a
look into
Saturday.
That, we used to have when I
Yeah.
first moved here, we had a little street festival in the middle of the street, in the middle.
So that was, what was it called? Thank you. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
That was criminal.
We used to
Love
have
it.
those.
It was always July 21st. When we moved here, like officially got the moving truck and moved here, we were like, got done for the day and came into town and that was happening. And we were like,
Yeah.
it was a completely different, I don't think it was a commission. I think it was a board that did it. There were a few arts commissioners that were participants, and people have been asking the Arts Commission for the last 5 years when summer celebration's coming back, and we're like, it's not really the Arts Commission. So that's what we were trying to do, is sort of shift this thing to the
Okay.
new location that the city's developed, and then just kind of re-invoke
What location?
Wade Creek. Did you not come last summer?
No, I didn't. I didn't know about it. This is why I'm asking these questions. I expected it to be downtown where they drew on
Yeah.
No,
the street with the chalk.
Downtown is gonna be Oktoberfest, and then the Arts at the Creek is at the creek.
By the library.
Up by the library, yep, and it's in a couple weeks.
Please tell me about it because.
And it's gonna be bigger than it was last year. There's
Oh,
gonna
no.
be, yep, it'll be great. And it is vendors, food vendors, a bunch of artisan vendors, music all day and stuff like that. So we're gonna do it a little bit earlier. This is like a total plug right now.
Please, go ahead.
What's
This is where we're here for get it out. The people, you know.
right here? But we should table the event if anybody is available for even a couple hours. Definitely the busiest part of the day is like 1 to 4. So I could probably carve out a little bit of space in the shade. And we could just have surveys and maybe, I don't know, deploy
look
some of our $1,200 in our budget towards like lollipops or something. I don't know. Something to give out just to get, you know what I mean? Just to get something going.
Flyers with all the emergency information things on it.
Freezy Pops,
Yes,
of course.
yes,
Um,
that.
well, and so,
27. So the last
do we
week of the
still,
month. Okay.
Elena, would you be tasked with nothing that we request?
Got it.
Well, because this is the whole, well,
She's like, just do it. Just do it.
like Alex told us that we can't go buy anything and then get reimbursed anymore. We have to petition.
Yeah, you have to,
directly.
you have to
you-
send me
Can you,
an
like-
item and we have to order it for you.
Can you buy us like
Yeah, you want me to buy you
200, like
200
Freezy Pops or something?
freezy?
Freeze
Otter
Pops,
Pops?
like,
Do you have space in the freezer for those?
I could freeze them. We have hella freezers at my
Okay,
house.
because we don't
Um,
have freezer space,
Yes,
obviously.
I could freeze them as long as you can get traction on. 'em.
I can
and then,
order you freezer pops.
Yep,
Yes.
I got a cooler. I got all that. We move a lot of animals around in coolers. Sorry.
Hey, no, sorry. I like meat too.
We call it freezer naps. And then there's also tables, I'm sorry, there's
We
also.
have tables and pop-ups
Correct.
here at the city,
Oh,
so you
the
guys. can-
pop-ups are here?
Yeah, we have
um,
pop-ups.
Because there are also tables at Wade Creek in the storeroom or in the utility room or whatever, which we'll be utilizing for like tie-dyeing and stuff like that. So what I'll just kind of work it into the mix. But does anybody have like an hour they can come down and sit?
So it's the last weekend on a Sunday.
It's
Saturday,
not
the
a
27th.
Sunday, it's a Saturday.
Saturday,
so
the
I won't
27th.
be
And
able-
that's just the next one. Also, there is July 20. Is there really one on the 28th? And then the following night, July 28th, there's also a concert in the park, which is really a lot of action for Wade Creek.
Mhm.
I can probably get you guys the information from Clackamas County for their alerts. They'll probably send us some
Okay.
flyers and things too.
In fact, that would be awesome,
That
is to
would
have
be.
a separate little, even if it was just like something that was Xeroxed down here, where it had
Mhm.
where people can find that information. It's very seasonally relevant, you know what I mean?
I have all those things. Happy to share
Yeah,
in as
Yeah,
many
so-
languages as you would like.
So all the things that like, the alerts for fire.
Yep. Anything
um,
that would come out of public alerts for Clackamas County or even the other counties as well, but anything
So
that
like
we put
road
on the
closures
side-
due to storms, stuff like that?
Yep, all of that is on there.
All right.
so
real
Kimberly, it
time
sounds like
updated.
you're
Who's doing, what the concert is the 28th? I could do the 28th.
that's
but
what I was trying to figure out. I didn't.
I can't be there the 27th. So there's a concert the 28th.
What will we be doing if we just advocating for a?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much are sitting around. What we could do is we could create some little cutesy thing, or we could also potentially deploy some more of our budget to, we have a good friend whose husband just left. Her name's Maddie, and she used to be on the Arts Commission. They moved to Sandy, so she was no longer available to serve on a commission, but she is a crack graphic designer and can whip up anything real quick. So maybe we could even do like a little something that's like printed out that says, you know, in very small lettering on the bottom, Estacada DEI,
Courtesy. of
and then
Educated DEI.
better together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to like sit on the table.
I mean, something, take it from me, it's excellent to have a little thing that you can put on your refrigerator with a magnet.
Right, I don't know if we're gonna be able to whip up magnets, but
No, I don't mean magnets, but I mean.
Kimberly,
just a-
do you have
small,
you
know,
have
not this.
leaflets and stuff that are accessible and in hand that we could distribute for that?
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I think that would be brilliant. In fact, my whole crew is gonna be down there, my family and kids. So if we need to just put a body behind the table, we can figure it out if no one's really available for that Saturday.
What if
Is
we
this
gave-
July 27th?
That's correct.
Yes.
What if
Yeah,
we gave,
I can be around for that.
That would be brilliant.
what if we split the 28th, the 27th and the 28th? And part of the committee is there the 28th, part of it is there the 27th.
Yep.
And we
Well,
split those frosty things. We do 100 each day.
Sure.
And I can have the survey done on a half sheet. Elena can copy off, I don't know, however many we
Yeah,
need.
if we had the hazard mitigation information from Kimberly available, and we had a survey, and there was just a couple shining faces down there with some like treats to pass out to the kids, I think that would be ample and
Yeah.
enough to just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, engage people.
Yeah.
We don't have to,
Yeah.
you know, the Arts Commission is always making buttons, which is a little extra.
Bougie. Yeah, bougie over there.
It's totally bougie.
Find your butt.
Let's just go buy a bunch of Otter Pops and give them to kids who are
Yeah, Elena's
overly
gonna,
hot. And be
Elena's
like,
gonna,
hey, by
I
the
don't know, I
way,
think we
Make
do
that
Dove
purchase.
bars, we'll get a big.
Elena, I'm just gonna push it up right now and say 500 Otter Pops. You can use your discretion as the purchaser, because my kids are gonna eat like 12 probably each, so. And I
yeah,
think
but if
that
they
they're,
take
like-
an Otter Pop, then they have to take a family communications plan booklet to prepare for
Yes.
emergencies.
Excellent,
with them.
yes.
Kimber-
You
Kimberly,
can't have
you're
an Otter
hired.
Pop without the family
hired.
plan packet.
That's
That's
right.
a good idea, Kimberly. I like that. So, and then the survey, we need to make sure we get the surveys out, so we're getting people's feedback. And if we do the surveys,
Could we have people fill out the surveys in person on site, like
yeah,
while your kid
yeah.
gets their whole face?
Cause we
sticky
wanna
and blue?
know.
So we will need pencils or pens
whatever
or
you put 'em-
something. Does the city have pens with the city of Estacada on them?
Oh, let's make DEI committee
That's gonna
pens.
come out of our budget.
Special
DEI
pens.
committee pens.
We'll just go scrape out the
They
bottom of
will
our
know
cars.
they
Had to
have a
spend all our
DEI
money right
committee
now.
pen.
So-
I don't think we have time to buy branded pens.
Yeah, we don't need to brand, we don't need city of
Sorry,
Estacada
that's,
pens.
It's
that's a
railing it
little
in on us
too,
right
a short timeline, but we can get you
Okay, so
razor pops.
short list for tabling these upcoming events for the summer, the Otter Pops, the Kimberly, I'm just gonna call them the mitigation plan to leaflets, the survey. Could we also have a QR code generated to link to the short little survey, or is that kind of pushing our luck? Okay, and then if we had that as in like shoot and click.
Couldn't we just have it on our table?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
also sort of just providing, because there's definitely gonna be, I mean, real talk, like my 14-year-old would probably do something if it was on his phone, but
Yeah.
if he has to like write.
Yep.
it's a
Oh my
deal breaker,
God.
you
That's
know?
like
Then you-
chiseling in stone,
Yeah,
yeah.
but then you've got the 70-year-old that'll be at the
Correct.
park and, oh
Correct.
yeah, give
Would
him a
much
piece
rather,
of
would
paper.
much rather fill out. the
Yeah,
survey in
yeah.
person
Yeah, the
if possible.
14-year-olds can run fast. We're
Yeah.
not worried about them.
Okay, so July 27 will be Mike and Kimberly, right? And does anybody, so if I'm there what's the hours of the 28th?
It's 1 to 6, but like I said, we don't have to table the whole day. It's
Okay,
not-
well then,
And I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be down there for probably 10 hours, so. When it comes
So-
to setting up the table and putting stuff away, I can handle all that.
okay, so
I said,
what hours should we say on the 27th for tabling?
You know, maybe 1 to 4 if we
Okay.
could.
And
Uh,
then maybe 1 to 4 on,
Oh, the parks, the concerts
concert?
are 6 o'clock, and that's usually a 2-hour block.
oh, 6 o'clock,
Um,
so 6 to 8,
Yeah, I mean, I would even say like 5:30 to
okay.
7, and we pack up and leave before it's over with, you know what I mean?
Okay, 5:30 to 7, or we can do 5.
Yeah, I mean, oh, well, no,
Is that too early?
Just be there, be on site when people start arriving and they have a little free time before the music hits.
Okay.
And then you can cut out before everything's over with. That seems to be kind of.
The because the events are back to back, will the table just still be there?
I mean, some things.
Or just leave leaflets on the table and let people just wander about.
There's tables and chairs at the Wade Creek
Right.
building.
Oh,
Correct,
okay.
so
And
what-
so you can just take them
we
out
can-
of the closet
we can
there.
leave all those materials there and then just pull them back out of the building the
Okay.
following
Yeah.
day.
All right, so who, I can be there the 28th, who else could be there the 28th? Because that would be in the evening.
I mean, I'll probably be there.
I won't know till closer.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna just try and attend as a civilian, but I'm more than willing to sit down there and
okay.
draw with people.
No longer at in the evenings. They're doing Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m.
Oh, my.
Oh,
The
okay.
hardest part of the day.
So
Nice.
Sunday, July 28th is 2 to 4 p.m.
should have,
We better
I have a
leave me-
Mr.
Soccer pops for the.
We should set up a Mr.
2 to 5, is that what you said?
2 to 4.
Okay, so I need to be there by 1 to set up.
Okay,
I
yeah,
know,
I
but
mean,
you'd probably be there by
table will be in place from the
1:30.
day before. And we can leave all the information and leaflets down there. Really, what we'll do is I'll text Maddie and see if we can't get something colorful. That's like, like a small sandwich board or something
Yeah.
that just can sit on the table.
That's a good idea.
Really all we need, more purchase ideas, or do you have something laying around that's like one of those little plastic 11.5 by 8 or whatever, like you would put a piece of paper in it, and it holds it. You know what I'm saying? Something like
A lot of
that.
times they have those at the Dollar Tree.
There you
I've seen
go.
those before.
Okay, so just want to get our all of our ideas set in stone so that, because we don't have another meeting between
Right.
now and then.
Do we also have a phone list that we can generate so we can communicate? Truth be told, the Facebook message thing is like maybe once a day. And emails, like I hate email,
Uh,
but
like-
I've text is fairly normal for
I
me.
rarely check email.
We text each other. Does that
Yeah.
also complicate things within quorum rules?
So if you're just texting each other to arrange a, like, hey, I'm gonna pick up this, you pick
Yeah.
up that. This is something that you have already made a decision on at a meeting. This is just logistics for the decision already made. So you can talk to each other about the logistics of that.
We just can't make a
You
decision.
just can't make a decision, talk about anything that would be an agenda item. So you've made a decision, you're gonna have the event. You can text each other, hey, I'm gonna be there at 1:30. Are you on your way? Those kind of logistics things, discussions are fine.
So I'll send everybody's.
Oh, you have everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
That's just-
Okay, cool. I was just missing Kimberly and Nicole, and we'll just go from there and stay
I
in
will
contact.
text it
You
to.
just have to Google me, you'll find my number.
Say that again. That was came
That's
across
easy to
choppy.
find.
Say that again.
Oh, I said you just have to Google me.
Just have to Google you?
Fine.
Okay. My
You
curiosity.
sure
is
we want to do
piqued.
that?
Don't Google me.
Okay, so I'll send all of you guys everyone's contact.
Perfect. Okay.
info.
That seems like a strategy. Oh, and I'll text Maddie.
Okay, let's see, now natural hazard mitigation plan, are we gonna table that since it's 6:03? What do you want to do for that? What
Well, it
was it?
sounds like you're doing something for it already by having the, emergency alert sign up there.
Yeah,
So that's helpful.
okay. So should I close the meeting?
I think, do we
You guys
have?
have any more
no
to
public
say?
comment?
There are no attendees online or in the room.
No commissioner comment. Heidi's not here.
Kimberly has her hand raised.
Oh, go ahead, Kimberly.
Can you hear me any better now?
Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay. Are we, like, if someone wanted to sign up for public alerts right then and there, am I like allowed to have a tablet set up and they can do that?
I don't see why not.
If it's I just don't know the rules about using like my personal technology, or does it have to be?
No,
City.
you can, yeah, you can use your personal technology.
Okay,
That would be awesome, Kimberly, if you could do that. That would cut right to the chase right there. They wouldn't have
Right.
to go home and remember to do it or.
yes, here, just do it right here. Stand right here
Yeah.
and type in these two things and you'll be set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we have Wi-Fi available down there at the Wade Creek room too. So we'll just have to make sure that you have the Wi-Fi password.
Oh, yeah, no, it's okay. The tablet is its own phone, so it operates anywhere.
Great.
Thanks for doing that, Kimberly.
I will,
Yeah.
this helps me professionally as well, so bring it on.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you. All right, anything else?
I don't think so.
I have one thing. I have been speaking with Tammy about my HOA, and I was able to get a hold to somebody, and I just wanted to make sure everybody would be okay with me being the liaison to speak with them, or would somebody else prefer to do it?
I'm sorry, I was supposed to add that to our agenda. Sorry about that, Nicole.
Um,
I will
okay.
happily let you speak to all the HOAs
Yeah.
instead of me
I was
doing
just
it.
for my personal notice, but I'll
Don't throw
gladly do
yourself under the bus.
Campanella.
We have complete confidence in you, Nicole.
Yeah,
You'll do a
absolutely.
great job, you say as we sneak out the room.
Okay, well then I will follow up with them to let them know that I'll be the liaison for our little group.
Thank you for doing that.
Nicole, which HOA?
This is Campanella Estates.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
So does anyone know anyone that lives in Cascadia Village.
Which is,
This
is
I
what,
used to
Reagan
live
Hill?
there.
Reagan Hill, well, even Reagan Hill or Cascadia, Cascadia is up
Cascadia's
by the high school.
Cemetery?
Yeah,
Yeah, Cascadia is up behind the high school. I used to live in that neighborhood.
Heidi lives there.
think
so.
Does she?
That's where she was campaigning when I helped her go put her stuff up.
Maybe.
well, we could talk to her about it. All right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, I will close this meeting at 6:07. Yep, I'm in a